Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a few days. What 2 days, 24 hours, 48 hours. I gotta say, my brain has kind of like exploded in the last 48 hours. It's been chaotic, but fun chaotic, good chaotic. Can't complain. I just want to say thank you to everyone that showed me support over the last 48 hours. The last show we did, we spoke about the asylum hotels and the corruption. I went into the people that own them. I went into the actual details of it. And I made very strong points about every single leader of the major parties, calling out Keir Starmer for being a Jew, calling out Kevin Badenoch for being foreign with a banker husband, calling out Robert Jenrick for being married to a Jew, calling out Nigel Farage for being Wall Street, etc., etc. And I put the clip online thinking, hey, this might do all right. Maybe a few people listen to it. A few people listen to it. A few people listen to it. So it's been crazy, and I'm gonna address a few things for the first 10 minutes of the show. But I gotta say, I'm so grateful to everybody, and I know that sounds a little bit gay, like, oh my god, I'm so grateful. No, no, I'm a little bit grateful because it's nice to see that the work is paying off. We've been doing this for just under 3 months. We've been talking about the truth for just under 3 months and exposing it, regardless of if I may get in legal trouble or not. Because look, what they're going to do? You think prison's going to be bad for me? Prison will just show me the exact extent of multiculturalism, and maybe I'll have some nice time in the show. I'm joking. That's a very Milo kind of thing to say, but it's been crazy. I just want to say quickly, thank you to Steve Laws. Steve Laws, the absolute Chad that's been promoting remigration to the point where Elon Musk, you know that Jew from South Africa, he is now promoting remigration. He is now straight up saying remigration is the way forward. We're going to win. This is what I've been saying. We're going to win. It's past the point about sensible immigration. We don't care anymore. We don't want sensible immigration. Oh, let's sensibly import loads of Indians over or loads of Pakistanis over. People are sick of it. We don't want any more Indians or Pakistanis. We're absolutely sick to the back teeth. So even people like Elon Musk are now on our side. But it's been crazy, and I will quickly address a few things. Firstly, the background. People keep saying, what about the background? That background is really misleading. Some people thought I was far left because of this. This is a sign I stole from I borrowed it indefinitely from a protest, and I wrote "not" in front of the welcome. Why would I want them here? You think I want them here out of all people? So that's a meme. That was also a meme. The gay flag fell off and it won't go back on. It was Gady Vance, but I have that up just in case I ever want to go to the US and they want to deport me like that Norwegian child. So that's all of that. And then we'll get on to this little thing, which is I've kind of annoyed some groypers. And listen, I'm going to say this straight up. I like the groypers. I think the groypers are funny. I think they're effective. I do like Nick's message. Clearly, I do like Nick's message. I have no issue with the groypers. I made one tweet about Ali Alexander. Not a criticism of Nick, it's criticism of Ali Alexander. And I don't like paedophiles. I believe that, I can't say this in Britain because I will get told off with the law. I believe that all paedophiles should be put up against a wall and taken care of. I think that's reasonable. So I'm not a fan of paedophiles. I have no issue with Nick Fuentes. I think Nick is a nice man. I think he's a very smart man, a very intelligent man, and he's spreading the right message. That's the point. We're all the same side. We all got to spread the right message. We can't be infiltrated by sinners, by disgusting human beings, by pedophiles, and we won't be. And that's why we got to stamp them out. And I've been corrected that he has cut off that man. I have no quarrel. That's base. That's W. We don't want nonsense. So I'm glad. I have literally nothing wrong. So groypers, please. I'm sorry. It was an accident. I didn't realize it was my own fault for not looking into it properly. It was just something I heard on a whim, and I believed it, and I shouldn't believe it. I shouldn't believe the mainstream, because if they come after me and they say that I'm friends with X, Y, and Z, or try and make me out to be, when it's not true, you got to back it up. You got to back it up, and you got to defend yourself, because they do lie. Of course, they lie about things. So I offer my apologies. I offer my apologies to my friends across the pond. But I also will make the point, I'm not here for American politics. I don't do this for American politics. I'm here for the native Brit. I'm here for the native white Brit to defend our homeland, which our ancestors built over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, which is being betrayed to us by foreign entities, absolutely raping us from the core and destroying what built this country and made us so great. That is my main goal. And that is what I hope to wake up a lot of the British people to, because they don't realize we don't have these conversations over this side of the pond. We don't talk about, oh, well, our government's working for another government because they have an ethnic connection to it. We don't mention how no one even knew that Keir Starmer was really Jewish, to be honest with you. And people don't like hearing that. They're like, oh, you're mentioning the Jews. Be a good guy and keep quiet. Be a good guy, or you're going to have your bank froze. Freeze it, bitch. Freeze it. But I'm not a good guy. What I am is a truth teller. And that's why even this morning I tweeted out about the Epping hotels being owned by 2 Indians. I tweeted about the Britannia hotels being owned by a Jew that calls himself the Asylum Hotel King. I tweeted about Keir Starmer as well. And people are retweeting it like confused. Like, what? This is true? I'm like, yeah, it takes like 2 minutes of research. You could follow all of it. But we don't do that here. For some reason, the UK is like 15 years behind on politics. We don't start looking at these things. We don't think they're an issue. We just sit there and focus on Islam. And don't get me wrong, Islam is a lot bigger of an issue in the UK than it is in America. Maybe because it's easier to migrate here as a Muslim. But that's the only conversation we have, because people like the Zionist Tommy Robinson that sits there kissing the wall keep going on about it, keep calling everybody Muhammad and Abdul. And that's the only thing that gets reported. The only thing. We don't talk about any of the other influence in this country. And that's my job. That's what I'm here to do, because I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit where you come from. If you're not British, if you're not here for the British people, you can fuck off. And that's the entire point of remigration. But now that that's all out of the way, the main topic today is what I'm calling the worldwide Anglo revolt, also known as WAR, war. Because it is a war. We're fighting for our skin colour, number one, for our heritage, and for our homes. People in Australia have now risen up all across the country, with massive anti-immigration marches. And these all sparked because the Australian government keep importing more and more and more foreigners. Same situation as you're seeing here. Same situation as you're seeing in America. Same situation as you're seeing in Canada. Swarms of predominantly Indian and Pakistanis. For some reason, all Western leaders love them, follow the money, but swarms and swarms of Indians and Pakistanis. That is a problem. And we can sit here and pretend like it's not, because they might go, but sir, I love you, sir. But sir, I love the British. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that the chicken tikka masala is the national dish of the UK. I don't care. What I do care about is when I walk down the street and I'm the only native white person on the street. What I do care about is when I get on the bus and I'm the only native white person getting on the bus. It's not racist to say, like the media would like to hammer, oh, but he's being so racist. He's being rude. He's being so rude to the minorities of this country. I don't give a shit. This is our country. We are the ones that built it. Why would I want to walk down a street and not see any of my native people? I would feel uncomfortable if I walked into India and everybody around me was an Anglo. I'd be like, this isn't fucking India. And it's the same part all over the place. Everywhere. And that's why the Australians are mad. And in the spirit of Australia, I put my cowboy hat on. I think, honestly, cowboy hats should make a return. Americans, I know you're watching. Make a return of the cowboy hat. It suits, okay? But the cowboy hat should make a return. But I put my cowboy hat in spirit of the Australians. My Aussie Anglo brothers, I know that we are distant now. I know that you divorced us. And we kind of sent all of the criminals over there. But that's okay. We still love you. You still share our heritage. And we still support you. And as much as these idiots, these liberal retards want to sit there telling us, well, it's not their land. It's the indigenous people's land. You can't say that. You can't want Australia back for the Anglo-white people and the Europeans. You're not allowed to, because it was the indigenous. The indigenous did fuck all. And this is the same all over the world. The indigenous do fuck all. Even in America, what did the Red Indians do? They were worshipping the water and the ground whilst painting their faces wearing feathers on their head. Wow. What a society there, guys. What a revolution. You guys have industrialized so much, clearly. Same thing in Australia. They sit there in little mud huts, blowing out of blowpipes, shooting poison darts at each other, fighting with kangaroos. Before we turned up. And what do? We built an entire country. We built an entire country every single where that we went, and was allowed to, and where we still remain, there is a country, a functioning country. So Australia has a complete right to exist for the white people because it was built by the white people. This is the conversation, especially in the UK, we don't have. We don't have. We allow the browning of our countries to continue because it's politically correct to allow it to continue. And I put a tweet out. And I said, if the British had guns, if we were allowed guns, the invasion never would have happened. And people are being like, well, hold on, America's being invaded. We're 53% white in America. We're being invaded. Now, I don't disagree with you, but also look at it geographically. The UK doesn't even size up to Texas, right? Texas is bigger than us. Imagine near enough 80 million people, 1 million foreign imports a year into our country. It's very, very obvious to notice our demographic replacement because no matter where you walk, you will see continuous foreigner, 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 foreigner. Welcome to the UK. You basically feel like you're on holiday all the time, especially when it's sunny because the sun's out and nobody can speak fucking English. You genuinely feel like you've gone abroad. Whereas in America, you've got the massive swathes of empty land. So it's a lot more difficult. I mean, in the major cities like New York or Chicago or X, Y, and Z, yeah, sure. It's probably very fucking obvious. It's probably pretty easy when you've got like streets of 50 foreign migrants on the street, homeless, cracking out, doing some zombie dance. But in a lot of the land in America, you have like very white towns. We don't really have that here. And the ones that we do have here, they keep employing tons of migrants into them. Migrants that come across the channel, they'll just shove them in there. And they'll let us deal with it. They'll be like, no, you guys are fine. You guys got to be inclusive. They're eating your swans. This is true. They're going to your parks and eating your swans. Who cares? You got to be inclusive. You're not inclusive. You're a fucking bigot and you'll get thrown in jail. I will throw you in a cell, a padded cell, for the next 6 months of your life if you dare question these people that are eating swans. Oh, you walk down the major street and nobody's speaking English? Don't be a fucking bigot. Oh, you hear that call to prayer 5 times a day because you live in Leicester? Don't be a bigot. That's the UK. It's fucking diabolical. And this is why I'm saying that no matter where you are in the world, everybody is getting sick of it. The Anglos, and especially the Europeans now, are rising up against it because we don't want it anymore. We don't want the third world. We don't want to be browned. We don't want these people that come over and start having 6 or so kids and have an entire fucking army of them. Yes, they outbreed us. Yes, our culture's shit. Yes, everybody is a Bonnie Blue and an OnlyFans slag. That's the way that this society's sadly fallen since we've destroyed our values and our traditions. But we don't want to be invaded. And the issue is we have been invaded because for so long, we've had people that sit there and they accept the invasion. And they accept the invasion because it's the nice thing to do. Empathy is fucking destroying us. It genuinely is destroying us. It's railing us harder than the Somali man's going to rail me, right? It's absolutely annihilating us. When are we going to grow some balls and stop being empathetic and be serious? Because empathy is going to end up where you go to a primary school and everybody there is called fucking Mohammed. Mohammed or Shakila or something like that. And that's going to be our reality because we're too scared to talk up about it. We don't want to get in trouble with Prevent. Oh, Mr. Keir Starmer's going to come for us because we're talking rudely. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? And this is why I quite like Steve Laws. Steve Laws actually has the balls to say this. And people go on about our demographic replacement's not that much. Oh, it's not that much. Get over yourself. Are you fucking joking? In 100 years, our demographic has decreased by about 20%. The white people in the UK are about 81% now. 81 fucking percent. Are you joking me? We were 99.9% in 1951. But it's not replaced. Really? Australia, where they're now getting sick of it. Europeans and Anglos make up about 75% of Australia. 1/4 of Australia is now foreign. And it's predominantly from the Asian countries as well. Yes, they're neighbours, sure. Did they build that country? No. No. So when you've got people like Tom Sowey, I think that's how you pronounce his name. You know the guy with the mustache? Well, listen, common theme, okay? Common theme. But the man that's standing up and he's promoting the NSN, which is the National Socialist Network in Australia, and he stands there on the steps of the Victorian Parliament, and he's giving a speech to these people, and the media take a picture of it, They take a picture of him giving the speech and they go, well, he was met with boos and people shouting at him to get off. Boo, you Nazi, get off. Well, it's not true. Because if you actually watch the videos, he was met with cheers. He was met with applause. He was met with people that are sick to death of being replaced by some smelly fucking foreigner. And that's the nicest way to put it. We don't want them here. It's our country. It's not offensive. We don't hate them. We don't blame them for being here. It's not their fault they are here. It's the government's fault. Every single fucking government, it's their fault. It's our government's fault at the very top for taking the money from the NGOs, taking the money and allowing these people over. It's the Australian government's fault for allowing shitty migration systems. They used to have a very strong migration policy, points-based system. Now it's not. Now it's not. And you can get mad at me for saying smelly, but it's fucking true. Look at the streets. The shit. Go down Rusholme, right? Rusholme in Manchester. I say that as a man from Manchester. There is shit all over the streets. There is rubbish all over the streets, piled up. Birmingham, rubbish all over the streets. It fucking stinks. It genuinely does. How is that insulting? You're telling me that's not true? Really? Don't even fucking lie to me. But it's the government's fault for allowing these things. And Australia's dumb prime ministers that are, again, because Australia is from migrants, they're like, well, we should be accepting of migration. Even the guy that runs the migration legislation in Australia, his name's Tom. He's a dick. What's his name? Tom Burke? Tom Burke, as a Catholic man, is going, well, there is no place in society for those that seek to divide us. You know what's going to divide you? When you import the third world and they don't wish to join you. When you import the third world and they don't wish to be a part of your country. They want to sit in their own little societies and communities away from you. Because to them, if they don't have to interact with you, they can build their own form of little India or whatnot inside of Australia or inside of the UK or inside of Canada or inside of the US. And that's what you see. And that's what you see. And you see it here. And I talk as a Brit. You see it everywhere in the UK. Even where I'm from, right? Grimsby. And my grandparents say this. And my grandparents are probably watching right now. So W's for my nan. But even Grimsby, you go down the front of that. You look around. It's full of Africans. Since when was Grimsby an African town? Since when was Bradford another Islamic state? Since when was Birmingham an Islamic state? Manchester has now become minority white. Even our small towns are being attacked. Look at Epping. Look at Epping, right? I went over this last stream about the judge that's now said that, oh, it's fine for the hotel to host these people because they have the rights to stay here. Fuck off. These stupid legislation. Look at Epping, right? Nice, quiet, little town. A very native town. Native white town. All of a sudden, employs a bunch of migrants in one hotel. What do you think is going to happen? Well, they move around like a gang anyway, because they don't socialize. They don't adapt and assimilate. So they move around like a gang. And then one of them is now convicted for sexually assaulting a girl. And then everyone was like, what the fuck? Why is this even here? That wouldn't have happened if he wasn't here. And you're seeing it all out the UK. Rochdale, the grooming gangs that were hidden, by the way. And this is the same thing. So America's media is very hidden because it's all owned by certain individuals. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying anything. But it's all owned by certain individuals that want to push a narrative. When you read the news, you have to realize it is pushing a narrative. But the UK is just the same. The UK is just the same. Our media hides things. Our government quite literally put in an order to hide a certain part of the news for 2 years. And that was that we were employing a load of Afghans to come over here. For 2 years, it was hidden from the British public that we were employing hundreds of thousands of Afghans to come over, which revealed that they were also importing the Taliban. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. But this is the reality. The media is covering it up because if the media covers it up and you don't hear about it, but you see it, you then question it. But when you question it, you just go, no, I'm just being racist. Oh no, I'm not seeing more Indian people. No, I'm not being flooded by New Delhi. I'm not. It's not New Delhi. No, it's crazy. I'm being crazy. Because the media's not saying that. The media's saying, oh, you're fine. When the media sits there and tells you about your net migration figures and you read, oh, it's only 400,000. It's only 400,000 new migrants a year. Oh, it's not that many. Okay, but then you got to look at it actually. Well, actually, that's more than are leaving the country. So if we lost 551,000 last year and we took in 440,000, okay, then what makes up the other 551,000 that we took in? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, they're all foreign. So when the media is not telling you that, or they're just hiding the stats, or sugarcoating the stats, what do you think you're going to feel? You're going to be quiet about it. Because if you're not quiet about it, you get attacked. You get told that you're inciting racial hatred. Just like our good friend Callum the Lion, the man that set up all the Epping protests, the man that was there, front line, this balls of steel, protecting his community. He is now being arrested as of yesterday. He has been arrested for inciting racial hatred. How fucking broad? How broad? And I mean this nicely. Do you think they would ever arrest somebody for inciting racial hatred against a white person? I'm going to give you two options. Yes or yes. Just kidding. Third option, no. Of course they wouldn't. They wouldn't do that because, oh, you can't be racist towards white people. And that's the society we get brought upon. So they've arrested Callum for inciting racial hatred. For no explanation. You see him on the video, he moves slightly towards a police van because they just arrested somebody called Reform Sarah. Another white patriot, by the way. So they arrest Reform Sarah for God knows what. Then they arrest Callum. And he stands there. And he's getting told what he's being arrested for. And somebody says to him, Callum, any words? And this man, heart of steel, right? Like Braveheart, turns to the camera and he goes, liberate England. And that's the way that we're going. We genuinely need liberation. I'm going to regret saying this, right? America, come back. Please come back. Bring whatever. Just save us. Stop this fucking madness. Stop this tyranny. It's crazy. Now I understand why you left us, right? It's like when my parents got a divorce. I didn't understand it as a kid. They didn't actually. But I didn't understand it as a kid. Now I get it. Come back. Because we're not going to win with these people in power and nobody is understanding what's actually going on. We're too busy shouting at hotels. We're too busy sat there going, oh, these bloody foreigners. That is a part of it. That is a massive part of it. No, we don't want to be replaced. No, we don't want the demographic to change. No, I don't want my kids to grow up in a world that's not representative of their ancestors. That's just normal. But we're not being effective because the British were very shit at organising. Surprisingly, we're really, as a nation that can queue, even though we can't queue anymore because, again, the foreigners don't assimilate. They can't queue properly. But as a nation that can queue, we can't organise properly. We can stand outside of a hotel and go, yeah, this was great. Yet everybody still goes, well, it's Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Kick out Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer is one minute problem into the entire thing. One minute problem. Because even if Keir Starmer wasn't there, who do you think comes in next? Are we going to get Angela Rayner on top? Angela Rayner, you think she's going to make a difference? One of the most left-wing in the cabinet that's going to sit there. What do you think she's going to do? She sat there in a Muslim community in her area going, please give us your votes. Please, Mohammed, give me your vote. I'll get on a prayer mat. And wish for you. You think she's going to stop the demographic change? Well, of course she's fucking not. Because what the British people fail to realise, and what I'm here to try and get them to realise, is that they're all from the exact same ilk. They all follow the exact same policy, because that policy is what is paying for them. That's why Angela Rayner has 3 different homes. Because she can afford that. Can you afford 3 different homes? I don't think so. But it goes even deeper. Even look at the media. And this is what I mean. This is why there is a worldwide Anglo revolt. Because even look at the media. Rachel Reeves put out a video this morning going, back to school. And she showed some kids talking to her about who she is. There were 3 people shown in that video. 3 kids. I want you to guess how many of them were white. How many of them were the native people? 1. The other 2 were black. They are not the native Brits. Why are we promoting continuously demographic replacement? By the way, I ratioed her on Twitter. Rachel Reeves, you got fucking ratioed. And this is only going to continue to happen. You're going to get ratioed more and more and more because you're a stupid bitch. And also, this is for the Homeland Party, bearing in mind Callum, who got arrested in Epping, used to be part of the Homeland Party. The Homeland Party, which still looks after Kenny Smith, the fat bastard that literally is built like Gorlock the Destroyer, and that's me being nice. They have now decided not only did they take credit for the Epping protest, which they had no fucking involvement in, but then they've decided to not say anything about Callum, who is now being arrested and could actually use their support. They've decided to go, well, we don't know any details about him. I'm sure he's fine. And you expect to be the leading opposition. You expect to be the ones that push forward remigration. Really? Elon Musk tweeted about remigration this morning. I mentioned this earlier. Guess who took a chance to go, well, we did that? The Homeland Party. The Homeland Party sat there and going, well, we did that. We helped Elon Musk get migration in the mainstream. No, you fucking didn't. That was Steve Laws. So the Homeland Party is the biggest fucking scam you could ever imagine for a far-right party. I know this because I asked them on Twitter, to which I got no clear response. They cannot even define to you if they want civic nationalism or ethno-nationalism. You'll never guess which one I want. It's definitely not civic. And that's the reality of our political landscape. But I'm not going to say much. Big things are coming. But this happens everywhere. I'm telling you right now, look at the media. Now that you get it pointed out to you, look at the media. Go on Google. I want you to type in happy white woman. Happy white woman. Click on the images. Just scroll. Just scroll. And you tell me I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm not going to say any more than that. You tell me I'm a conspiracy theorist. You tell me the Great Replacement is just a conspiracy. You guys need to wear your tinfoil hats. You guys don't even know what you're on about. You guys are just crazy conspiracy theorists. You're going to continue to say that when the white population went from, what, 30% of the world to 7%? When are you going to say we're not conspiracy theorists anymore? When it's 1%? When you can't go anywhere without it just being foreigners? Really? Really? But I'll get back onto the Australia bit. So there's this one guy in Australia. His name's Avi Yemeni. He's the biggest fucking cook you've ever met in your entire life. Like the most hardline Zionist Jew you could imagine. Like, in all fairness, if God was to create the Antichrist, it would be Avi Yemeni. That man is a fucking demon. He goes around and he goes up to Palestinian supporters and he goes, so what do you think about the change in Palestine? Do you think it's Hamas's fault and it's all the Palestinians that want the death of the Jews? And he'll go around and the second they go, no, I think Israel's committing a genocide, he'll go, oh, you just hate the Jews. You just hate the Jews, that's it. That's as simple as it gets. But it's effective because all of his boomer slop retards that sit and watch him go, oh my God, they hate the Jews. You can't speak bad about Israel because if you do, you hate the Jews. And that's all he does. And he walks around doing that. So he was walking around at the March for Australia. And he was interviewing people and he kept going, what do you think about that neo-Nazi group on stage? And you know what they kept saying? Deadass. You know what these people kept saying? I don't really care. I don't really care as long as they're fighting for our country. I don't really care as long as they have Australia's best interests at heart. And that's the reality of it. Most people are beginning to not really give a shit about political ideology. And this is why I'm saying that our politics is going to move away from the civic idea very, very shortly. 5 years, 5 months, whatever. It's going to move away from the civic idea rapidly. And that's because people are no longer seeing left or right. We really could not give two flying fucks about party anymore. It doesn't make a difference. People are using their own eyes and going, my country's being replaced. It's not to say we hate anybody. I'm a Christian guy. I don't hate a single person. What I will say is I do love my country. And I love my ancestors and the people that made this country. And the Australians are the same. And Canada's going to have the same reaction. And eventually America will have the same reaction as well. We are all sick to death of being replaced. We are not brown. We are not black. They did not make these countries. We did. Oh, but the Windrush generation, 2%. 2% was the Windrush generation. You think that small population rebuilt the entire UK? You have to be fucking brain dead. And I mean that nicely. Unless you've got a lobotomy, you are just genuinely retarded. And that's me being nice again. But even the Australian Prime Minister going, well, we don't condone these kind of people. We don't want these kind of people representing us. We're more tolerant than that. We're more tolerant than that. And this is the problem. Who are the tolerant ones in society? Always the richest. Always the people on top. Always the people that are trying to dictate to you how your life should be. They're so tolerant. Yeah, because you know what they're tolerant of? Pedophiles, child trafficking. True. Having weird little Bohemian Grove rituals playing to a monarch. Fuck off. It's just weird. But then, as the normal average working Australian, or the normal average working Brit, or Canadian, or American, if you're not tolerant, you're automatically a bigot. And America's lucky they have their free speech. But for us, if we're not tolerant, we get told off. You could be facing legal penalties for not being tolerant of these people. And that is the reality of Western civilization. And this is why ideas like remigration and race and ethnicity are becoming more prevalent. And as I keep saying, and I've been saying this over and over and over again, you can continue to pretend like it's all fine. We are going to dominate the mainstream. My ideas, Steve Law's ideas, Zoomer Historian's ideas, we are going to dominate the mainstream. And there is nothing you can do about it because people are sick of it. We don't need stats and statistics to tell us about immigration. We can see the house prices rising. We can do basic economics and go, oh, there's more demand but not enough supply. Why is there more demand? Oh, our population's growing by nearly 1 million people a year. Same thing in Australia. Their social services continue to rapidly decrease. Their house prices are now increasing. Why? Supply and demand. We don't need to read the news to use our eyes. I don't need to read the news to walk down the street to see Indian, black, Middle Eastern while I'm walking down the street. That is called observation. And it's not hatred against these people. It's a complete disappointment and revolt against the government. Because why is that even happening? And I always say it. I say it every single time I talk about this. My great-granddad, who I'm named after, who served for this country, who looked after this country, who loved this country, whose friends would have gone off to die for this country, he did not do that for this country to turn into a shithole like it is now. The Australians that fought did not fight for their country to turn into New Delhi. The Canadians did not either. Neither did the Americans. You think the Americans revolted against us and the monarchy just for it to turn into a predominantly minority country anyway? I have a feeling they didn't. I have a feeling that every single Western civilization did not. So when I say this nicely, and this is to every Brit that's watching this, get a pair of balls and stand up, man. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Are you going to sit there all nice and quiet? Oh, I'll raise a fist for BLM. I'll virtue signal something. Oh, I don't want to go out because I'm scared about being captured on camera. Get a grip, man. Get a fucking grip. It's like the younger generation as well. I say this to the younger generation of Brit. Grow up. Stop allowing yourselves to be invaded. You've seen it. If you grow up now, you see it. Go into your classroom, look around. How many Brits do you see? Tell me genuinely. Guarantee you it's not massive amounts. Fight for these things. Why does nobody fight anymore? This is the issue. No one has the fucking will or motivation or determination to actually put their morals and their beliefs and their heritage to the forefront. They're too busy being brain rotted on TikTok, looking at some fucking cat spinning around with retarded sounds in the background, or watching some funk edit of some goth mommy with massive titties. And that's the reality of that. Have the balls to fight for it before you lose it. And if we do lose it, it's our fault. And that's something that no one says. If we lose our country to demographic change, if we willingly lose our identity and our system because we've employed this many foreigners over acceptability and empathy for these people, then we deserve our replacement. I'm not going to allow that. I don't want to allow that. I don't want to continue to see people to be replaced. This is why people are leaving the UK. The native people are leaving the UK in rapid numbers. I get messages every single day. Well, I've left the country now. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore being here because it was just getting too dangerous. Yeah, it is getting dangerous. It's getting dangerous in Australia. It's getting dangerous in America. It's getting dangerous in Canada. Because these people that come over, they're bringing shitty ideologies and third world ideals, and they're not civilized people, and it's harming us. And we're going to continue. And now remigration. Remigration is continuing to see sparking in the news, and now it's going to become mainstream. And I promise you it's going to become mainstream. Mark my words, you will hear Keir Starmer in the next 2 years mention remigration. I guarantee you. We already kind of had it with the Tories, where they were like, we'll have the Rwanda scheme. But then it wasn't called remigration. It was more like a migration deal. But I guarantee you in the next 2 years, Keir Starmer says something about remigration. And he'll say it because that is the only way we're heading. You cannot solve the problem just by slowing down migration. You cannot solve the problem by going, oh, it's fine, we'll limit the amount of Indians or Pakistanis or Middle Easterns. It ain't going to work like that anymore. There's too many people here. They're going to outbreed us. They have to go home. Remigration is about returning people to their ancestral homeland. And it's harsh. It is harsh. But again, empathy is not going to save us. Empathy is not going to save this country. Being strict and authoritarian is going to save this country. Fuck your democracy. Your democracy is just going to get you raped. What's not going to get you raped is having the balls and a leader that will just do it. I don't care that you were born here and that you've never been to India. Your parents are Indian. You are completely Indian by heritage. You are going back to India. It is as simple as that. I don't care that Kemi Badenoch may have been born here. She may have been born in London, but then bearing in mind she moved straight back to Nigeria. She is fully Nigerian. Her parents are Nigerian. Guess where she would be going? It ain't rocket science. People go, but where are you going to send them? Where they fucking came from. What do you mean, where am I going to send them? Not to fucking Mars, am I? It's really simple. People don't like talking about it. Oh, but it's so expensive. What's more expensive? A one-way plane to Ooga Boogaland, or continued years of paying for these people into the system? What's more expensive? Continued migration to attack our social services, to annihilate our NHS, to annihilate our transport, to annihilate our education and our market, our house prices, or to send them out, to get them out of our country? Because this is what people fail to recognize when they sit there and they go, oh, well, this guy's as British as me. Rishi Sunak is as British as me because he's done stuff for this country. He's paid his tax. Paying tax means that you're equivalating yourself to the same heritage as somebody. Really? You can't be that fucking retarded. Like, there is no way you can be that retarded. You think that just because you pay a few shekels to the Bank of England, which was set up by the Rothschilds, by the way, that means that you're as British as me. My family's been here for generation after generation after generation after generation. Your family came here on a plane in 1960s to come and settle down in the southern parts of London, and you claim to be as British as me. Are you taking the piss? It's not that fucking difficult. And you've got these boomer slop, mentally inept idiots on Twitter, and still with the youth, and you see it a lot with the liberal youth. And they sit there and they go, oh, but we need these civic ideas. And this is what pisses me off about Homeland as well, because they can't differentiate between civic and ethno. We need these civic ideas. Anybody can be British. It's their ideals that count. It's their values that count. It matters that they believe in the same thing that we believe. I guarantee you, if we were to do the same thing to their homeland, we'd get called colonizers. I'd be Britain's top nizer. I already am. And that's the reality. And if you don't accept it, you're a racist bigot. You idiots have to accept it. Because our government keeps pushing it, the media keeps pushing it, the controlled opposition keeps pushing it, every single fucking party pushes it. Even our most likely contender, the party that broke through the ranks, Reform UK with Nigel Farage, who's just a step down from Kemi Smith when it comes to power gut. Nigel Farage is coming to save us all, while he employs a Muslim Pakistani for his right-hand man. Oh, yeah, it's really going to say... It's fine, because Elon Musk was promoting Advance UK. Now, this is where I disagree with him. Oh, let's promote Advance UK. Ben Habib, Pakistani. Tommy Robinson, Jew. Nice. Really going to save us there. We need a party that's genuinely the native people, for the native people. And we have to make this distinction. As mean as it sounds, as bad as it sounds, if you gave the Anglo people, the European people, all over the world, if you gave them a choice in parties, and you had a party that was like we have now, with civic ideals, but conservative, or a party that claimed straight up, yeah, we're only here for the native people, we don't really care in the slightest about the other people, we want to deport you, I guarantee you, that ethno party wins in a landslide. Because as much as people don't want to say it, because they're too scared about being called a racist. They're too scared about their Facebook friends rebelling against them. They're too scared about their workplace finding out. Most people would agree. Most people would put in the ballot, yep, let's get some authoritarian person in to just knock these people out. So remigration will become the leading policy. Remigration will become mainstream. Remigration has already leaked its way into UKIP. Even if I don't like Nick Tangoni, it still leaked its way into UKIP. Remigration has now leaked its way onto Elon Musk's Twitter page, which the government will see, and it will be spread around. The government already know what remigration is. Remigration plans are a lot cheaper in the long term, maybe not at the beginning, because more GDP, it means fuck all. Because GDP, again, is just controlled, again, go into the banks. You think this country is ever going to run out of money? You think any country will ever run out of money? Guess what they'll do? Oh, your country's running out of money. It's fine. The good masters at the top are just going to print off a little bit more for you. You might be paying more in tax, but oy vey, you pay that tax, and you live in debt to us. And don't question where it's coming from. Because we've always got money for everything else. We've got money to send over to Israel to bomb children and to fly surveillance drones over Gaza. We've got money to send over to Ukraine to put more Ukrainians in a meat grinder. We've got money to send off to the Middle East to deal with our migration issue, but we don't have money for you in your potholes. We need more council tax from you. We need more funding from you. Even Donald Trump putting in, what, you can now pay off the national debt with Bitcoin and donations. Are you fucking joking? Who do you think owns all of that? Who do you think owns all of that? So it doesn't really matter about GDP. When people sit there and they give me economics after economics after economics when it comes to it, sure, we can argue about the logistics of domestication and the more socialist idea and nationalizing certain industries. We can have conversations about that. But at the end of the day, that can sustain itself regardless of who's in the country. What matters is who's in the country. Because who's in the country is then reshaping what that country is. And this is the issue, right? And I mean this, and this might get me in trouble, but I'm going to say it anyway. A lot of people do want nationalist kind of ideas when it comes to social policy. They want nationalist social policy. They don't want swarms of migrants. They don't want civic politics. They want their ancestral people in the ancestral land looking after the ancestral dominant of that country. But they also want socialist ideals, like our NHS, like nationalising energy and water, like our industries, like steel. Put them together. All I'm saying, put them together. Yeah, the media ain't going to be happy about that. And that's the issue. It's really shit PR. And because of the PR being so bad for that kind of ideal, you can't say that. You can't want those two ideas. You either have to want nationalist ideas and then accept globalism and free markets and swarms of Indians coming in, or you have to want just full communism and Stalin and gulags and food stamps. You can't have a mix of both. Because centralist ideas don't really go anywhere. Centralist ideas still end up getting you on the back pedal of the global market and still allowing mass migration. For very strong nationalist ideas with socialist economics to benefit the native people of this country. And that's what socialism mainly does. It does. I know it has the red tape on it. And I know that the second people hear socialism, they think, oh, we're going to end up in Soviet Russia. We're going to end up in gulags like it's the end of time. But that's not true. You ever use the NHS? Do you like the NHS? Have you ever relied on the NHS? Congratulations, you're a socialist. That's what it is. So when things like the National Socialist Network in Australia are beginning to gain ground, same in Germany with the AfD. I have things about the AfD. They still support me. This is an AfD duck. I have friends in the AfD. So when you see parties like that, when you see in France, even though France is far too riddled with corruption, and then you're seeing a rise in British politics of these ideals, you're seeing a rise in American politics and Canadian politics, and you're beginning to see the Anglo revolt against these things. And you see crowds gathering around to watch the NSN speak in Australia on the steps of their Victorian Parliament. When you see these things and you start to question what the fuck is going on, I'll tell you what's going on. People aren't falling for the media lies anymore. People aren't falling for the idea that we must accept swarms of migration. People aren't falling for what we're being told by Rupert Murdoch over on his Fox News network. We don't care. It doesn't make a difference anymore. No, I don't want to sit there and see Rachel Reeves with 2 foreigners and 1 white kid. That's really fucking disheartening. No, I don't want to see pictures of Keir Starmer on his main Twitter account for PR, sat there taking a picture with a foreign kid going, this is for the next generation of Britain. That is not the next generation of Britain. We are. Our kids are. The next generation of Britain will be the native Brits. That is not racist. That is not offensive. That's called patriotism. That's called being a true fucking patriot that wants to stand by the ideals that made this country and every other fucking country that is currently succeeding. Oh, but you colonized places. Grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. Everywhere that we colonized benefited from it. And if they didn't benefit from it, that's because the actual people there are fucking useless. Sorry, but it's true. Don't give me the Africa argument while they're being raped by China and they're being raped by Israel and they're selling off their minerals. Don't give me that, because Africa has the chance to be better if it can. Rhodesia used to be based. Now look at it. It's a shithole. That's not the white man's fault. That's because the native people there are fucking lazy. Simple. Shit culture, bad work ethic. Too busy being tribes, less busy being workers and inventors. That's true. So yes, remigration is incoming. And there are things you're going to see in the next few years about remigration, which are going to be more strong, are going to be more based. And you know what? I'm actually going to quote Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate as well. Thank you for the follow on Twitter, W's. But this is what he said. He said, the white man will be replaced unless they stand up. The white man will be replaced if they continue to be pussies. And we will. Of course we will continue to be replaced for being pussies. If a man, and Andrew Tate's not fully white either, if minorities can see the replacement, which they can, as much as they're going to tell you they can't, and you might hear that there is no replacement. Even Jeremy Corbyn the other day in Blackburn, he went to Blackburn for your party. Looked like an Indian wedding, by the way. I'm not even joking. Like JD Vance was going to get married there. Sorry, JD. Like JD Vance was going to get married there, right? It looked like an Indian wedding. You watch the video, there's like one white person. One. That's crazy. And that's a major political figure advertising for his party. And we get called the radical ones. What I think's more fucking radical is willingly allowing your country to be raped. Willingly allowing your country to be destroyed. To me, that's a little bit more radical. I think our politics is sensible. Our politics is what the ancestors died for. I'm not listening to Keir Starmer with his conflict of interest tell us what I can and cannot say. The man's going to fuck off to Israel anyway. I have family in Israel. Oy vey, you must accept this. Do you think Israel would ever allow in this? Where are the Israeli refugees going? Sorry, the Gazan refugees going again? Would it be Israel? No. No. It's Europe. Like you see swarms of them arriving in Belgium. Or even in America. Swarms of them arrived in Chicago the other day. We have to deal with that backlog again, don't we? Oh, Rishi Sunak going, oh, well, we need more diversity in this country. You're saying that because you're Indian. You're saying that because you subscribe to the same ethnic dilemma. Or I see people on Twitter that are trying to larp to me, and they're trying to say that, oh, I must just be a racist. I'm just a racist because I'm talking about the ethnic cleansing of the white people in this country. I'm just a racist. Am I racist? Am I racist for pointing out a fact? You'd call me a fucking colonizer. Guess what I'm calling you? An invader. Fuck off home. Simple. It's very easy. But how can you tell I'm British? I'm looking at you. You don't look like me. This is pure Anglo blood, baby. You ain't ever going to have this shit. No matter what you do, you will never be as white as me. You will never be as Anglo as me. You will never have the balls that came from the Anglo and the Celtic people. I was raised from a heritage of warriors, from a heritage of people that dominated the world because they were so advanced, they were able to dominate the world. They were the definition of based. And that is the legacy that I'm going to fight for and that the West is going to begin to fight for. In the worldwide Anglo revolt, aka war, against the establishment, the media, the narrative, and the invaders. It's over. When remigration wins in the next 5 years, when we start becoming mainstream, when our ideals take over, there is nothing you can do about it. You can either choose to deport yourself and go back to your homeland nicely, or we're going to send you back anyway. I don't care if you want to go. I don't care if you think it's a nice thing to do. It's not up to you. The state chooses whether you stay or not. That's called reality, baby. When we have a leader that chooses you're going home, who gives a flying fuck about the Refugee Convention of 1951? We will rip that up. We should rip up half of the treaties that we have decided to employ, because half of those treaties we've employed have done nothing more than fuck us in the arse. They've gaped us into oblivion, and they should be ripped up instantly. They should be ripped up and replaced with an actual constitution which specifically says, and this is the difference which I judge America on. Our constitution should point blank say that it's for the native people of this land, not for everybody that wants to be a part of it. Because then you end up with American issues where they're becoming second-class citizens in their own country. If a constitution is written too gaily, it's going to end up the same way. Write a constitution for the people. Our treaties should be ripped up. The Magna Carta does nothing. Rip it all up. Rip it all up. Replace it with a document that outlines the protection of the native British people. Fuck the invaders. Fuck the traitors. The traitors against the wall with the paedophiles. I'm not saying what I'd do to them for legal reasons, but I'm saying against the wall with the paedophiles. Anyway, we'll get into the chat. I'll see what you guys are saying. That was the rant. But listen, total Anglo victory incoming. TAV, total Anglo victory isn't coming if you like it or not. Sorry to any of the people here that aren't Anglo, but it's over. You can't win. Bring the gay flag. Bro, it dropped out. I'll have a look if I can. I'll have a look if I can. Wait, hold on. I don't even know it's gone. It's gone somewhere. I'll do it next. I'm going to read through the top of chat. Let's see what's going on here. Hold on. Just block them. I can't see all the chat. British Fuentes. Right, everyone keeps saying this. Listen. I actually do like Nick. People keep thinking I'm slating him. I'm not, bro. I promise you I'm not. I think he's a smart man. There's a lot of things going ahead. There are a lot of things going ahead. Visit America. Bro, I don't know. Do you think America would let me in? America, would you let me in? Would you let me in? Or is that picture of JD going to get me kicked out? Is my anti-Semitism going to get me kicked out? Shut up, bro. Jesus say the Jews descended from Satan himself. Oh, you're about the synagogue of Satan. Don't notice. Stop noticing. Why are you noticing, bro? Loving the cowboy hat. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. We got to defend our native brothers. We got to defend our native brothers. Let's have a look. These people were never invited. Yeah, I know. Well, look, yeah. Who invited them? Was it the native people? The thing is, when it comes to the empire and whatnot, most of it wasn't even the British people. Like, I think about 30% of the British people actually were involved in it, whereas 2/3 of us were just stuck at home being taxed to oblivion by the big banks and corporations that continue to invest in debt for us. Because what does debt do? What does debt do, chaps? What does debt do? Nothing but cowboy boots under the table. I am wearing suit trousers with a belt on. Big things are coming. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. How about Europeans leave America? Bro, if Europeans left all of those places, your countries would fall to shit. I mean this nicely. You think the native people were able to build what we built? Really? Guys, could any of the minorities build what the Europeans built? I guarantee you the answer is no. I guarantee it's no. Let me keep scrolling. Hold on. What if white Western aggression isn't just cultural but inherited? Yeah. Well, I think when you have people that believe in their own ingenuity and inventions and strength as a union, you're always going to find they try and dominate. Go back to Europe. Go back to Europe. You would fail without us. Shut the fuck up, retard. Report this video. Jim Smith, bro, that you're the biggest LARPer. This is the biggest fucking Indian I've ever seen behind a profile. That's report this guy's video, guys. This guy, shut the fuck up, faggot. I don't know if I can say that. I just did it anyway. Refugees in, chavs out. Oh, correct. Thoughts on Steve Law? I know of Steve Law personally. He's a nice guy. I think he's away. The white man is so full of hate. Shut up, bro. Shut up, bro. 100% copying Nick Fuentes. Okay, bro. Show us my Daisy Dukes. Maybe. He looks feminine. Cheers, bro. Appreciate it. Who watch something they don't like? Because people are just crybabies, bro. Fedora. Bro, it's not a fedora. It's a cowboy hat. It's for my Aussies. It's for me and Bob Cater. Bob Cater, you know, my favorite Lebanese Australian. The guy was like, "Oh, mate, don't you dare call me that. I punch blokes in the mouth for calling me that." What a Chad. What's a white European doing in Australia? Bro, you want the indigenous to rule Australia again? Really? Don't be fucking dumb. I mean that nicely. Don't be fucking dumb. Oh, he has no idea what he's on about. Just let these people see, bro. Yo, bro, make England Anglo again. True. True. England will be saved. Christ is king. God bless. Listen, England will be saved. You're in the wrong place, Jim. Yeah, exactly. Jim, no one gives a shit, bro. Shut up. Money for everyone else. Exactly. There's always money for everyone else. Prioritise Britain or bust. Real, bro. This gestures, guys, makes it identical. Okay, I'm going to clear this up now. Do you know why I talk with my hands? I used to be a massive Trump fan. I have a cap over there that says "Make Britain Great Again." I watched Trump from 2016 up until 2021. I learned to do this from Trump. Fuck Nazis. Okay. Funny how I removed the gay flag. Bro, it fell off because I broke the back of JD. This won't fit down anymore. I don't really care about there being a gay flag. I don't know why everyone's mad about it. It's Gady Vance. Cry about it. One in the chat. Yeah, bro, please deport him. Venom. I don't understand what Venom's problem is. These people are so crazy. Based. Yo, real search W's. Oh, shut up, Jim. Actually lobotomize yourself, bro. Actually lobotomize yourself. Jim in the bin, real. Nah, this is gay. Bro, you sound more gay than I do. You know what's gay? Sitting on a live for at least like an hour, just constantly calling it gay. That's really fuck it. Why are you staring at a man for that long? Puff. Question your own life choices before you come to mine. But we built things, says every tyrant in history. Jim, are you saying we didn't build things? Are you saying we didn't build those areas? Really? Shut the fuck up. Actually, shut the fuck. There's no way you can be this mentally ill. There is no way. Jim likes it. Yeah, of course he does. They're always at war colonizing someone. Because we were better. What do you want from me? Brown pride worldwide. Bro, India. And from the physiognomy, this guy clearly takes it in the poo-poo hole. Bro, I'm a fucking incel, but okay. Yeah, is JD Vance's flag? I don't know. I'll have to tape it behind. I didn't have enough time, to be honest with you. Most of the world has brown skin, yeah. So why can't you leave the white nations alone? That's so obvious. Most of the world has white skin, yeah. Leave the white nations alone. Duh. Game of whack-a-mole. Oh, bro, whack this guy. Narrowing effects and speciality of the hotel subject and such. Did you see this guy news piece pushing direct injection of foreigners? How's it? Yeah, well, they're going to start. The thing is, with the hotels closing, they're going to start putting them into council housing. That's the issue. That is the issue. This is the one bad thing about it. This is why we need to just get rid of them, deport them, bro. I think everyone's happy to not be like Jim. If I was like Jim, I would have necked myself by now. And that's me being honest. What's wrong with a mustache, bro? Make me mod, Jim gets deported. True, actually. It's a good idea, John. We need mods. Yeah, I will actually figure out the mod thing. Hold on, I'm still just scrolling to the bottom. Whoa, hold on. Let me go up a little bit. I think I've missed a few things. Kick out Jim. Make England Anglo. Yeah. Yo, Joseph, thank you for the £5 from California. W to Joseph, guys. W to Joseph in the chat. Timothy with the Make England Anglo again. Base, bro. England is going to be Anglo. There's nothing they can do about it. The foreigner invaders are not going to win. Do I like Alec Gerbry and NRP? Me and Alec are friends. I've done an interview with him on the channel. You can have a look at it. Me and him are friends. That's what I've been saying, but it's true. Do I play Yu-Gi-Oh? No. I don't have time for card games. I gamble hard. No, I'm joking. Nah, don't gamble. Gamble is a soy boy activity, but I would gamble if I wasn't a Christian. I think it'd be interesting to see if I feel like my luck would mean that I'd lose, but fuck it. YOLO, you know? Always something that could get in trouble. Yeah. Oopsie. I didn't mean to call him the F slur, guys, but he also is. How old am I? 22. Bro, Blue, thank you for the £5. Proud to listen, bro. We're gonna prioritize Britain. Easy. Easy. People keep saying, like, oh, prioritise Britain's a bad slogan. What else do you fucking want? You think of something. Prioritise Britain. I mean, put it first. That includes the British people, the actual British people. That, duh. People are like, oh, this is a bad name. Rebrand. Rebrand to what? Rebrand to what? You want to give me a suggestion? I'll take it. I'll take it. What, the Union Jack? Bro, look, I actually fixed it. Somebody said it looked like the French flag. That was fucking insulting. To the person that said that it looked like the French flag, when we colonize the world again, when the Anglos reign supreme, your head's going to be on a fucking spike. Never ever call it the French flag again. Never ever call it the French flag again. Hold on, let's keep going. Hold on. Yo, Timothy with the $2, remigration, immigration. Bro, it's going to happen. It's not even immigration at this point. Immigration's done. Immigration's dead policy. Like, we're dead ass just on about remigration at this point. It's over. Does Hugh play games? I do, actually, bro. I play League of Legends. People keep saying, like, this guy's a character. I'm not even joking. I'm not a Fed. If I was a Fed, I wish I was a Fed. I play video games. I've never been to a private school. I was brought up on state schools. I play League of Legends and Valorant. I was brought up in Black Ops lobbies, not boarding school. I say offensive things because that was the lobbies that I used to be part of. Like, true. Why does he read the negative ones? Why not, bro? Let's read them all. Why not? It's funny. I don't give a shit. Don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, bro, I'm sorry, man. I used to on the fucking bus. If the gropers have a problem, listen. I understand that. Like, look, I can't lie. I'm a camp man. I do use my hands to speak. We talk about the same kind of things because it still applies here. Somebody was mad about the merch. The merch, like, listen, this is me being dead ass honest. I'm an open book. I don't really give a shit. The merch, it doesn't cost me anything to produce it. It's done for a third factor. I only pay the actual production cost. So I just keep it real. Like, it helps me build my setup. All I use the money that I earn is to build the setup so I can get this is a webcam. This is a webcam from my gaming computer for when I used to play games on Twitch with my friends. This is not a professional camera. I'm not even joking. The light sources are these tiny little panels that cost me 20 quid on Amazon. This is not high budget. People like change the background, get something more on the background. I can't afford an LED TV. I can't afford like the special things on the background. So for now, you're stuck with a blind and a white wall. When I can afford it, I guarantee you I will. Guarantee I will. Nick doesn't have monopoly on hand gestures. Well, this is also true because hand gestures are a thing of politics anyway. I used to do this from Nigel Farage, like pressing the button. Hold on. I take it back what I said. Yo, cheers, Venom. Appreciate it, bro. Groypers love Hugh. Yo, W. The thing is, I don't hate the Groypers. The Groypers are chill. My thing is, this is what I keep saying. The Groypers are American. I'm not American. I'm not bothered about America. I love my American brothers and I love my Anglo brothers. And my Celtic brothers. But I gotta fix Britain. I gotta work on Britain. I gotta fix this fucking place. Because this place is going down the shitter quickly. And until somebody is willing to say the shit that I'm willing to say, it's gonna continue to fall down the shitter. So I will speak out about it. So that's the thing. It doesn't look bad still. Thank you. See, look, I put it in the corner because I feel like the corner gives more of like a dynamic as well, especially with lighting. Otherwise, it'd just be like straight on. So we've tried to do that. America's this one in the bag. Bro, America is winning right now, but we'll work for that. Waiting for a mugshot. Bro, I've not had an update from the mugshot. When I get the mugshot, it will be on a t-shirt. It's going to say Britain's Nizer, because we're not allowed to say slurs in this country. We get arrested for that. So Nizer isn't colonizer. I think it's W-base. Nick, copyrighted talk with your hands. Sorry. Sorry, I'll pay my copyright fees. People have met Hugh. This is the thing. This is the thing. This is exactly how I am in person. I'm not even fucking joking, bro. They made immigrant arrest on one streamer in Manchester. They took some away. Yikes. Yikes. I'm not fucking surprised. They're gonna. I guarantee you, I'll get in trouble with the police at some point. I don't really care. So the way that mugshots work in the UK is they don't release them like they do in America. But I've put forward a freedom of information request for my own mugshot. Because when I was mugging the fuck out of that mugshot, I didn't give two shits. I was just mugging because I was like, if I mug it, it's going to look better than if I look Mardy. I was like, I've done nothing wrong. I'm an innocent man. I was fucking attacked by some wet vegans. Why is that my fault? After that stabbing, some clearing was done in Manchester, Cracky Gardens. Well, there's always a fucking stabbing there. It's like all the time. All the time. London for the day or the weekend. Probably the weekend, to be honest with you, mate. Not actually booked it yet. Thoughts on bond market? All markets are usually controlled by the top people, in all fairness. Like, I know it seems like we have ability to control markets, but it ain't really working. True Americans are with true Brits. Real, bro. This is the thing, right? Americans like go, oh, our country's better. It doesn't matter. We're the same people. You are a descendant of us. Fight for yourselves. Fight for your narrative and your heritage. We'll fight for ours, and then we can work together. That's the most based way through. Like, let's not. Have you reached puberty? Are you fucking retarded? Can this Jim shut up? Jim, fuck off. I mean that nicely. I actually shut the fuck up. Every single white nation needs young men to spread the truth. True. They actually do. We had a Nick Hugh for Hungary as well. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, the Hungarian what is he? Prime Minister or President? He's funny. He just reminds me of Gru. Never filmed Vimto Park because these people. Listen, I don't know if I can say this, but I'll say it anyway. A lot of the YouTubers, they go there because they want the interactions and they want the drama. I don't really give a shit about the drama. I'm not there for the drama. I don't do auditing. I do politics. So when people are there for the drama, you're just seeing like, you know, bottles being thrown and people threatening to stab you and all that gay shit. I'm just like, cool, whatever. Don't really give a shit. Don't really care. Let's have a look. Hold on. Was it look over the shoulder and pouted lips mugshot? I hope so. Oh, I should have. Guys, imagine my mugshot. No, I'm joking. That was gay as fuck. You booked it to London going Friday till Sunday. I'll give you a shout, bro. Yeah, bro, let me know. I'll be around. Yo, DD with the £2. Thank you, DD. Appreciate that, mate. I really do. Timothy, bro, no more brother wars. Exactly. This is the thing. Can we stop fighting our brothers? It's getting us fucking nowhere. It's like constantly stabbing yourself in the leg. Like, I don't understand why every single fight is our brothers. Even like when we're having like civil wars, we're always fighting each other. These ideologies that we have, and it actually does my fucking nutting. Like when you're seeing the liberals fighting the conservatives, I'm like, at the end of the day, you're both the same people. You're the same people that are fighting against each other because you've been programmed to think that you're both enemies of each other. You're not. You're fucking brothers. It's just crazy. What's Jim saying now, bro? Enjoy the Jew worship, bro. You think I worship Jews? Are you fucking kidding me? There's a guy called, I don't even care, I'm going to say it. I really don't care. Like, I might get in trouble. There's a guy called Charlie Simpson, right? He runs a thing called the Charlie Simpson Show. He's the biggest fucking Jew cook you've ever met in your entire life. His bosses are the biggest fucking Zionists that have a watch on me. He had me blocked for a month because I wasn't allowed to speak. And then I was ratioing him earlier on Twitter, calling out his Zionist bosses, to which he had to fucking delete the post. Fucking hell. Give us the mugshot now. Dan, if I had it right now, it would be out right now. How the censorship show started. You'd have to go back to after the World War. The first, I think it was the 1980s, we got the Public Order Act. That was the major thing that started it, where you can't be insulting in public or perceived as offensive because it may invoke some form of hatred. I just think it's cringe. I just think it's all fucking cringe. Do I know theology? Yeah, you're going to go, Jesus is a brown Jew and blah, 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 blah. Jesus is a spiritual entity. Shut the fuck up. Actually, shut the fuck up. I might get into trouble. I might. There's many things. Also, things people get arrested for. It's so like all over the place. It's literally so all over the place. So you could get arrested if I was to make a joke about a minority. I could get arrested for inciting racial hatred. It makes no fucking sense. Like, it makes no sense. Inciting racial hatred and being grossly offensive under the Communications Act 2003. It doesn't make any sense, because what is grossly offensive? If somebody said they were going to report me to the police because I called them a Jew, bearing in mind they were and are a Jew, how is that offensive? How is that grossly offensive? You are Jewish. If you call me a Christian, I'll go, yeah, I am. Somebody said they were going to report me earlier because I was on a live on TikTok, and somebody in the comments was telling me that we need to let in more immigrants, and they were Indian, and I went, why is this Indian talking to me? They were like, I'm going to report you to the police. How is that fucking offensive? You're Indian. This is Britain. Don't tell me what I can and can't do in my country, bro. Hold on. Thoughts on Brighton? Very gay, but also was going to be Hitler's base of station in the UK. Did you know that? Objectively. Well, objectively, it's not Jew worship. You worship the spirit. Yo, Lewis for the 20 quid. Hold on. I've not heard a speech like this in 20 years. We need ethno-nationalism. Words do matter. I don't like the word faggot. Build people up in faith. Don't know, knock them down. Yeah, look, when I appreciate that, Lewis. Look, when I use words like faggot, I'm not saying it to, like, slam you down. It's just, I mean this nicely. When I say I was built up on video games and shit, that's normal. That's a Call of Duty lobby for me. It's part of my vocabulary, and I apologize if you don't like it, but sorry. Sorry, that is just what I say. I call people jeets, I call people faggots, I call people cooks, losers, retards. That's just how I am. I apologize. Oh, bro, Jim, bro, shut the fuck up, man. Like, actually shut the fuck up. How self-loathing is that? What? Because I worship the spiritual. I never met Jesus, but Jesus is like a spirit. That's why you've got the Holy Spirit. I'd rather worship a cow. Worship a cow then. Go be Indian. That's what they do. They worship fucking cows. They sit there worshipping fucking delinquently cows. Are you still gay? I'm asexual. I'm not interested in people. If you're my own, I'm just not interested in people. Very generous. Guys, loving the chat for Jim there, please. Oh, not Jim, sorry. Lewis. I read Jim as I said that. It's called banter here in Britain. Yeah, bro, exactly. Like, even like when you say things like, I got in trouble on a TikTok live because I was like, Nigel Farage sits there drinking a beer and smoking a fag, and then they were like, oh, why did you just say? I was like, just mean cigarette. Shut the fuck up. Spoken like an Indian. Jim is definitely an Indian, bro. This guy is definitely just an Indian behind the thing. British banter is the best. We don't really care. No, honestly, Brighton was going to be Hitler's base of the gay. Not even capping. He's too camp to be straight. Thanks. In East Sussex, I don't know. I can't lie. Brighton usually doesn't have anything. Fun fact, I was actually going to go to Sussex Uni. I was going to go to Sussex Uni and I chose not to. I didn't want to be around them. You draw the line at TikTok, Mary, it's fine, bro. Don't worry. Appreciate the support. Asexual until marriage, based. Actually based. Hold on. One former policeman said they used to hate criminals in the police force. What do you mean, Bobby? Initially, Hugh activated my defensive mechanisms when he said bad stuff about Nick, but he's backtracked it. So I think, look, I didn't. Right, I'm gonna just clear this up, and I don't mind you clipping this. If you want to clip this and like make it, put it on Twitter or whatnot. What I said about Nick is not a direct attack of Nick. I think Nick's a very smart man, a very influential man, a very useful man, and somebody I would be very happy to call an ally. My issue was with Ali Alexander, to which I didn't realize they were no longer friends, and I have no issue with Nick because I wouldn't be friends with a paedophile. My only concern is we shouldn't hang around with people like that because it's going to harm the movement. It's going to harm the ideas. I don't want to be associated with somebody like that. I don't want somebody that I want to be an ally with be friends with somebody like that. if that makes sense. It's not to do. I think Nick's a smart man. Right. Okay. People get mad at me because I said he's Mexican, bro. I thought that was a joke in his community. Maybe I read it wrong, but I thought that was a well-established joke in his community, especially with like the body cam when he said I'm Mexican or something like that when he got questioned. I thought that was a joke in his community because somebody literally said to me, they were like, "Are you Mexican?" I went, "No, I find mayonnaise too spicy." Like, I'm being sarcastic. So I apologize to the Groypers. I didn't mean to twist the wrong screws. I apologize about the Ali Alexander thing. I should have seen that he had disavowed him. Ali Alexander, as a nonce, I'm not going to even bother pretending like I like. Nick Fuentes, nice guy, happy to be allies with in the future. So it is. He won't care about the Mexican. That's what I said. I thought it was just a joke, so I didn't really give. I didn't give it a second thought. I was like, oh yeah. Like if I do a DNA test and I turn out to be like 20% French, I expect people to take the piss out of that and be like, "This guy is a traitor." I'd be like, yeah, chill. Yo, I love you guys as well. Look, this is what I'm saying. Let's start the allyship. I will say, Nick knows who I am, and he did interact with my tweet last night. I would love to be allies with that man. Same with Andrew Tate, who now follows me. Let's be serious. These are good people that can help spread the message. That's what matters. That's what matters. It doesn't matter about ego. It doesn't matter about individuality. It's not about who I am or who he is or who he is. It's about the collective message for the benefit of the future. That makes sense to you guys? Are you against homosexuality now? I'm against sexual immorality. I think that homosexuality has promoted that. I think that, especially with like the whole ideology of it, I think that the idea of hookup culture and abortions has led to it as well. I just think it's gone crazy, and people are no longer worshipping the soul. They're worshipping the thingy-majig. Can you please say Britain has gone to bagwash? Britain has gone to bagwash, whatever that fucking means. Tate is compromised. Yeah, I'm aware. Bro, he's also a Muslim. I'm aware that he has connections that we don't agree with, but I'm sure that he would agree with my message. Plus, he likes Britain. Don't count as... No, I see Nick as somewhere different. I don't even really see Nick as right wing. I think... I see... Right, where I put it like this, right? Me and Nick are on different ideological paths to the mainstream right. I'd say that we probably would agree economically on certain things, like when it comes to nationalization of things. But I don't think that we follow the mainstream path of it. That's why we get kicked for. But sir, you must admit, sir. Shut the fuck up, Jim. Actually, shut the fuck up. Oh. Hold on. Who's my political hero? I don't know if I should say that. It'll probably get me told off. Can I say political hero for like their resilience? Or is that going to get me told off? I'll say it anyway. I don't give a shit. Oswald Mosley, I think he had very resilient. Even though he was exiled, he still carried on and like pushed forwards regardless of his ideology. I think that to me is somebody that you need as a leader. Not Oswald Mosley specifically, but also somebody that has strong ideals and is resilient to their force. The one thing I've always admired Jeremy Corbyn about is that he's never backed down. I think he's a fucking cook, but he's never backed down. He's just right. Yeah, real. Why the fuck do people telling everyone that sexuality is? I don't fucking know. This Jim Smith is so interested, apparently. Some of the greatest people. Yeah, exactly. He just cared, bro. Like, that's why I think we can disagree with like ideology, but also if we actually care about our people, then we get to a point where, as you're seeing in Australia, ideology doesn't matter because they're just caring about the people that made the country. They're caring about the native people. So I don't think it's a bad thing, bro. Are you related to Duncan Jim? No. Hulk Hogan, bro. Hulk Hogan, gangster. Nah, just kidding. That man was a fucking. Wasn't Hulk Hogan like a massive Trump glazer, and then he's just dead now? Hulkamaniac. I can find out who Jim is within 5 minutes. We'll be back in 6 minutes, guys. Lol. Jim is a thing for you, Hugh. Bro, I think Jim just wants it. Jim, do you want it, bro? Jim's one of these Indians that's just sat there admiring and glazing me. But, sir, I must have you, bro. For ages, even the chat of, oh, gosh, why? Jim, shut the fuck up, bro. Actually, shut the fuck up. No one cares. Nobody cares. Nobody here's actually asked. What's my stance on Trump? Major fucking sellout. Trump's a major fucking sellout. How are you going to promote America first and then continue to employ a bunch of foreign imports? Continue banning people from this, getting you deported from the US, really? Because it's offensive to the administration. What happened to your First Amendment? Signing an executive order on flag burning. Now, bearing in mind, I don't agree with flag burning, but also your First Amendment should protect things, right? UK losing interest. Well, we need to lose interest. We help too many people. We've been too much like simps because we've been like, oh no, we've done so much things that are wrong. Who cares? Who cares? Let's focus on ourselves. I don't come here to play fucking. Hulk Hogan is a big Trump. Yeah, that's what I thought. So with a master race, bro. I actually got into an argument with an Indian on Twitter, and they were coming for me because I said it was something about like domestic production, and they were going on about India wanted to become self-reliant, right? So I said, does this mean they're all going to go home now? And then they were like, well, at least I'm clean. And I was like, clean? Really? Anyway, then I was like, don't you just shit on the street? They were like, no, we don't shit on the street. Anyway, I asked Grok. They shit on the street. They have massive problems with shit on the street. You should fear the Groiper curse. Well, I'm not a Groiper. I'm my own thing. I'm British, bro. Isn't Groiper American? I can still, like, see things. I've said, like, let's differentiate this, right? I like Nick. I think Nick's a smart guy. I'd be happy to have him as an ally. I am not Nick, nor am I a Groiper. I am my own guy. I'm British. I'm talking about the British problems, the British people, and the British establishment. You guys focus on America. The cowboy hat. Bro, should I go put a fedora on? Wait, I got a fedora. Now, this is like properly 1930s British. This is like going back to my actual ancestors. I've not actually come across James Wickstrom. Jim Smith isn't his real name. No way. I have a bowler hat somewhere. I don't know where it's gone. I deadass do have a bowler hat somewhere. It's the Groiper frog, bro. Alt-right Christian nationalist. See, I thought Groiper was just like an American thing. I can't lie. But I'm a Christian nationalist, and I do say things, but I still identify as my own person. Proper British bowler hat. I don't know where it is. Right, hold on. Next stream, I'll have found the bowler hat and I'll wear the bowler hat. How does that sound? Top hat. Should I get a top hat? Good day there, chaps. Today we're going to be talking about how the Jews control society. Better looks amazing on you. Cheers, bro. Honestly, maybe I could be like a noir detective. I'm like Go-Go Gadget. I might have to clip that. That's going on YouTube. I have a flat cap as well. I can't tell if it's up there. I have a flat cap somewhere. Oh! Okay, that makes sense. Good evening, chaps. Today we're here to talk about the absolute corruption and demographic change. You do see what has to be fair. Thanks, Mary. That isn't it. I don't know where it comes from. His real name is Reggie Gaylord. You need Captain Britain to make an appearance. We'll see. We'll see how it goes in September, eh? Thought that was Pepe. There's 3 different kinds of frogs, I'm pretty sure. There's 3 different kinds. Are you down to join the stream after you're done? Yeah, bro, we can sort that out. I'm assuming you're the chat that messaged me, right? Nice hat, mate. Cheers, bro. Proper old British. Vote Captain Britain on the 13th. Bro, what if I actually run for office when it comes to the next election? Should I run for political office? I think they'd fucking fear me. Imagine I stand there straight up and I just don't have any backing. I don't really give a shit and I just call everyone what I want to call them. Northern Irish, British, the ones that want to stay. Yes, the thing is, right? The thing is, I think Ireland would... yeah, mate, I'll join the stream after. Guys, I'm doing an interview after this, so if you want to watch... you can put the link in chat if you want and go there. So look, I don't know where the pipe is. I actually had a pipe. Yeah, Jim, stay here, bro. I was like, what was I saying? My mind's gone. My mind's gone. Oh, fucking hell. The mustache would win you alone. Oh, yeah. The whole thing. I would so be fine in like an election. Go for it. Reasons to arrest you. They're already probably looking for reasons to arrest me, Bobby. If you've read my Twitter in the last 2 days, I've been going off. I ratioed Rachel Reeves. I ratioed the Homeland Party. I ratioed some Scottish news outlet. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying what I believe. The Lotus Eat. Somebody said that earlier. I might give them a shout, bro. I might give them a shout. They never do. They never do. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up, stand it. Exactly. Look, the Lord will always protect. This is the thing. I think this is why we're seeing a rebirth of Christianity. Because the Lord... And I've had people like Jim being like, you worship a brown Jew. Shut the fuck up. Actually, shut the fuck up. These people are just retardedly boring. They've got nothing better to do with your life. X has been great the last few days, bro. It's been crazy. Jim's left the chat. Bro got scared. Yeah, right. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go join this interview. Bro, put the link in the chat so everyone come over and join. If you want to watch me do this interview, I don't know what the questions are. I don't know what I'll say. I might say things that I shouldn't say, but what am I allowed to say? Am I allowed to use words on it that I'm not allowed to use normally? Should I wear the fedora? Should I wear the fedora? It's Tommy. Well, yeah. My opinion's on Tommy. I'd look good in a turban. Bro, thank you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. All right, guys. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching. I will be back at some point again this week. Loads of things coming over the next few weeks. I'm not going to lie, the next few months are going to be absolutely huge. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Share the channel as well. We are growing. We grew like 700 followers yesterday. You guys are so fucking base. It's live. All right, bro. I'll come grab it. I will put the link on my post section. I'll put the link on my post section on the YouTube. I'll also put it on my Twitter. I love you guys. Such W's. Big love to everybody. Big love to all the new groypers. Thank you for giving me the chance. Listen, I'm going to save Britain. You guys save America. I'll save Britain. We're going to carry on spreading the message. God is going to win. Christ is king. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Go catch me on the debate. Not a debate, the interview. See what I have to say there. If you like what I do, follow the Twitter as well. It's very fun. God bless. Take care.